What we would like to talk with you about today is 2011, the year of activation. And what we mean by that is that during this year you are going to start to activate new levels and layers of your energetic field, which are going to allow you to go through this process of ascension. You are playing in a grand experiment in which the earth is increasing her frequency along with the beings on it to move between the third, fourth, and eventually the fifth dimension. So as you increase your overall vibration, what will happen is that you will cross an energetic barrier into a new dimension. Now, each dimension has a different set of rules and regulations, if you will. It has a different paradigm of existence. So the rules for the third dimension are a bit different than the rules for the fourth or the fifth or the sixth or all the way up. Now, higher isn't better, it's just different. So each dimension has a different focus of experience. That's it, plain and simple. So the third dimension is a dimension in which you have two operating systems within your vehicle that you can work from. However, you cannot run both operating systems at the same time. You have the third dimensional filter of the mind, which allows you to perceive reality from a linear perspective. You think that you are separate from source energy, that you're separate from nature, that you're separate from the people around you, that you experience time, that you have a past, a present, and a future, and there is a singular direction of the flow of time. You cannot see the timelines that are going on concurrently right next to you. And it is a wholly unique experience because in no other dimension do you perceive yourself as being separate. It has this unique operating system that you're able to run. Now, the fourth dimension on up, you operate from the perspective that you are part of divine source energy. It is your true nature of being. It is impossible for you to actually be separate from source, but the third dimension, in order to play this game, you set up this whole elaborate ruse for yourself to believe that you are indeed separate. Now, because you are connected to source energy, you have to have two operating systems. And this is a bit unique again to the third dimensional experience, that you have both operating systems there. In all the other dimensional vehicles, you only have one operating system, and it is that multidimensional awareness of self. You see other probable timelines that are going on right beside you. You can look down them. You can choose to experience different ones. You can manipulate time. Time is an illusion. You also have the ability to connect with beings in other realms and dimensions. You also have the ability to go into records, to look at the experiences of yourself, other aspects of self in other lifetimes, or other beings' experience. And you can even take them on as your own, because you are not separate from anyone else, and in essence they are your own. Now, approximately 300,000 years ago on your planet, you had the ability to choose consciously which operating system you were utilizing. You had the ability to use the filter of the mind to see yourself as being separate and to have the illusion of density, or you could switch to the higher operating system so that you could connect with your guides, so that you connect with the higher realms, so that you could access other records. And all of you knew at that time on the planet that you were multidimensional beings projecting yourselves into density. And for a few moments you could forget that you were dense. But it was difficult for you to stay in density. So you all decided as part of the game that you would create these programs that would run automatically, that would hold you in density, so that you didn't keep popping in and out of it, because that was one of the perils of being in density, that you could not hold focus for long enough, and so you'd pop out. And remember, you're a multidimensional and you'd blow the game. So here you are at the other extreme, trying to remember now that you're multidimensional, so you can in essence shatter the illusion that you are separate. Now, the game that was being played was one of descension and reascension. So the ascension process that you're going through now isn't really something that you're trying for the first time. You are already part of source energy. You're at the highest level possible. So it's not that you're starting at the bottom and working your way up. It's impossible because you're already at the top with source. So it really is descension and reascension. 300,000 years ago, you had within your energetic field, your auric field if you will, a level or layer of your field that connected you, that ran the frequencies that kept you connected to source energy or your awareness of source energy. This field was called the diamond light body, the crystalline light body, the vibrational body, the divine light body. There are lots of names for it that you're going to hear, especially over 2011. That's going to be the hot topic that everybody's going to start talking about, is the divine light body activation. It is the divine body because it connects you to the divine and your divine awareness that you are yourself divine in nature. So you had this vibrational body that was active, that was utilized. But in order to stay in density, you needed a different level or layer to your field that was lower in vibration, that wasn't holding all those high vibrations. So you stopped using your diamond light body, your divine light body, and it atrophied. So over time, it became dormant. Now what you're doing is reactivating this level or layer of your light body. It's not something that you got to make from scratch. It's there, it's encoded in the genetic history. You all have the ability to go into the records and reactivate it. And we're going to give you some exercises here at the end to allow you to visualize the activation of that body. But this is not something that is completely unknown to any of you. As beings of light who are projecting themselves into physical form, you all know what this diamond light body feels like because you've got it in all your other forms, in all other lifetimes and all other experiences that are above the third dimensional realm. So just as you had 300,000 years ago the ability to switch back and forth between operating systems, you are also activating that same ability, reactivating that same ability in the now. So that you have times where you're operating through the ego and the mind and you say, wait, I know I'm an expanded being and that I created situations for myself, and so I'm going to shift my perspective. And so you start operating through the heart center again to say, I am part of divine source energy. Here we go. The divine light body is shaped like an octahedron. The reason that it's called a diamond light body is because your diamond, the crystal on planet Earth, holds this very shape, this octahedron shape as its base form. What will really help to activate your diamond light body, or your divine light body, is for you to hold higher frequencies day in and day out as you walk through your life. So in other words, for you to do a meditation and then walk away and go back into fear in your life is not going to help you to activate the divine light body. What will help you to do so is to increase your vibrational frequency higher and higher and higher by letting go of your fears, by going through the process of integration. What do we mean by integration? We mean as you recognize fears that are coming up for yourself, looking and seeing why you've created them in the first place. You are part of divine source energy. You are creating absolutely every experience that you have. So when you see how and why you've created a situation to perhaps illuminate a pattern that you have repeated, that you're no longer interested in creating for yourself, you integrate it. You let go of your judgment about having created it in the first place. It becomes a vibrational selection as opposed to something that you did that was right or wrong. It is this process of integration that allows you to increase your vibrational frequency higher and higher. The higher in frequency you go, the more you activate your divine light body.